And that's a feat right there. When you've got 4 days from scratch to have something to show for it, coordinating so many different people, we learned a lot.
I'm sure. And
it was really good that we only had, hi Anita, a couple of scripts to work with, because had we had more, there's no way we would have done it. Learning experiences. It was a good way to ease in. So before we get too far into the weeds, hi guys, welcome to another episode of Spilling Ink. We are back. How many weeks has it been?
2.
Was it just last week that we were gone, or was it?
No, last week we were gone. The week before we were here. Okay. So it's only, it feels like forever, but it feels like just yesterday. It's like a weird dynamic of getting older.
My kids are starting school not this Monday, but next Monday, which is ridiculously early.
Yes.
But how is summer over?
I know. Well, and it's our second summer vacation, so I'm officially on vacation. Yay! Yay! Started yesterday. And I'm drinking.
Have one for me, man. Have one for me.
I should send you. I got 30 of them at the store. I saw oh,
those are good. Those adult Capri Suns are tasty.
Yes, these are the frozen daiquiris, and I think we got Bahama Mamas and things like that. But I'm on vacation, and I'm having guests, and when we go up by the fire, ta-da!
I did my drinking. A little bit too much drinking last weekend at CombatCon.
I'm sure if after the day was done, it's like, okay, time to relax.
It was Saturday. Thursday and Friday I was dead to the world by the time we left. And I had to drive back home. I only had a room for Saturday night, so Saturday night I got to stay and play, but I was so tired by the time I came in and sat down. It was like, no, there will be no party.
Yes.
I'm so old. When did I get old? Hi,
Rebecca. The last Saturday night, we both got trashed. No, I stayed at a hotel and I got, shit-faced. Just put it that way.
we went on a scavenger hunt to find free water with the Joker following us.
Okay.
Because they wanted to charge you for water. Yeah, they wanted to charge you for water at the party. And we're like, no, we know the conference rooms have water jugs.
Oh my God, I almost spit all over my computer. Yes.
Hey, Margaret.
Hi, Margaret.
Oh,
Hi,
no,
Rebecca.
I'm sorry you have a migraine.
Oh. So you watching us as rest.
What's that?
She says I'm trying to rest, so she's watching us. That's cool. It's just us.
Let us entertain you with our stories of craziness.
Yes, unfortunately, our guest tonight is taking care of sick grandchildren, and I gave her a pass and said I would reschedule her because
she's got more important things to do.
Yeah, she's got a 14-month-old grandchild that's sick. That's not something you want to try to manage while you're
no, and it's always worse when it's the babies.
Yes, exactly. So
we're very Melissa, well, thank you.
Yes,
thank you.
Melissa. Oh, thank you. Melissa will be with us on the 17th of September instead. So
hopefully everybody will be COVID free by then. We did have
I figured, if they catch it, this is enough time that it could cycle through the house.
Yeah. So we got the COVID warning after CombatCon was over. Luckily, knock on wood, it did not get me. But quite a few people around me were popping up sick. So
well, you've had COVID though, right?
Yes, I have. I have had COVID. I've had shots. I've had boosters.
Yep.
But with the new variant, is what it is.
Yeah, whatever.
So CombatCon recap.
Yes. Give us a recap.
So Joe came down and he was such an amazing help. Again, this was a learning year for us. This was the first time we were doing this program, and we had, of course, very lofty ideas on what we were going to do. And we started out with fluctuating authors.
I
was literally getting like notices. You have 3 authors, you have 2 authors, you have 3 authors, you have 2 authors of people coming in and dropping out because people who get COVID can't come. People last minute signing up, that kind of stuff. So we ultimately only ended up with 2 scripts, which at first was like a downer. I was like, oh, we're not going to have enough to do, but it was enough. It was enough.
Yeah.
Because one, I don't speak script. Joe does though.
Yes.
Point for Joe. So as I'm trying to work with one author, and we had a lot of one-on-one time, which is really, really good because we were such a small group for the intensive. We really got to sit down one-on-one, the authors and the teachers, the directors and the filmmakers. I mean, it was everybody got a lot of really good one-on-one time. What is it she's saying? EA5 used to be a South Korean brand. It does sound like that.
Yes.
Yeah, and it sounds like everybody who did get it is starting to feel a little bit better. So
that's
yay.
Good.
So no Joe Compton or Brian Tan's stand-ins. We will have a video featuring Joe Compton in just a few minutes. But I got to set it up. I got to give you the build-up of how it went. So it was 4 days.
Yes.
So the intensive starts Thursday. So Thursday we got our first author. The other one was coming in late, and she was supposed to bring another person with her. So we got one-on-one with this author. She had some ideas. She bounced them around with us. We circled on an idea that we thought was brilliant, would be perfect for the 5-minute short we're going after.
Yeah.
We worked on characters. We worked on the different scenes.
Yes, I am.
And I'm jealous too, because I want one.
Well, yes. Yeah. My husband asked me as I was sitting here with it on the table, you're going to have that before the show? And I'm like, yes. And he goes, is that wise? And I'm like,
yes.
I'm like, it doesn't matter. Anyway, back to CombatCon.
So Thursday was literally all day locked in classrooms. It was just back-to-back teaching sessions. We had sessions that were just with the writers, some that were with the writers and the filmmakers, some that were with the writers and the Macklemore group, which they were the martial artists and combat coordinators. And they specialized in Bowie knife, tomahawk, tactical knife, and close quarters combat.
Oh,
cool. Some really cool stuff to watch. I sat in on one of their classes later in the weekend, and wow, they're fast. Holy hell. Anyways, so we got a lot of one-on-one time, and I liked being able to work with the Macklemore guys and get to know them, and work with the filmmakers and get to know them, and the author really got one-on-one, like hands-on.
That's pretty intensive, great time as an author and as a filmmaker, everything
we did what we said we were going to do. We worked at their level and got them ready to get the script out. Luckily, she did speak script.
Oh, that's good.
So she already knew how to write that. So a lot of what we were doing was bouncing around ideas. Hello, cool gamer. And trying to get her to refine it into something that could be a 5-minute short, because that was our time limit.
Yep.
Like I said, all day. And by the end of the day, she had her idea mapped out. She didn't have it written yet, but she had it all mapped out. We'd even gotten some of the choreography so she could visualize the fights and all that. So she was ready to go.
Yep.
Again, at the end of the day, I was dead to the world. I just drove home and I was like,
yep.
And we're done.
Sleep time. Yep.
Day 2, Friday. Our second author came in, did not bring the third author. Apparently, again, another COVID.
Yep.
Another victim of COVID dropped out. But she brought her daughter with her as moral support, which was great, because you could tell she needed a little bit more hand holding. And even though we're all friendly people, she didn't know us.
Right.
So she had somebody there that kind of was the go-between, kind of, kept her motivated, kept her going. Anytime she looked nervous, she got her to laugh. I mean, it was perfect.
Yeah.
So we worked her through a scene. She came in again, just like the first one, an idea to work with, some characters to work with. We worked on how to develop the characters, all that good stuff. All day sessions again, some sessions with the filmmakers, some sessions with just the authors, some sessions with the stunt group, which Jared, who is the guy who runs CombatCon, did an absolutely fabulous class on characterization with the writers and the stunt crew.
Awesome.
Oh, it was great. He really had a good way of teaching, really creating your characters, really understanding your characters and where they come from and what their skill levels are. So that was a fun class to be able to sit in and participate on.
Yes, I would imagine so.
So we had a lot of fun there. So again, it was an all day, just grueling, get it done. By the end of the day, we had quiet writing time. I even managed to sit down and get some writing done.
On
No.
Okay. All right. I was just gonna get really excited.
No, I had work to do.
Okay.
I had work that needed to be turned in. So I actually stayed up until 2 or 3 in the morning on Friday after getting home from being at CombatCon all day.
Yes.
And mind you, I was locked in the classrooms. Actually, Joe was with me the whole time. We were both locked in the classrooms all day Thursday, all day Friday, getting these scenes ready.
Yep.
Saturday
I do have a question.
Okay.
5-minute script. How many pages are we talking?
So because it's a screenplay, and it's mostly dialogue, it's about a minute per page.
Okay, so about 5 pages. Okay. Yeah, that's okay. That's sort of what I was trying to figure out, because I'm like, okay, how many pages is that? And got it.
Yeah, that's what they told me.
Yes. Did it work out that way?
Yes and no. So again, on Friday, the writing day, our first author came in and she had her script done. She brought it in and there was immediately changes that needed to be made and cuts and trimming it down and all kinds of stuff. So Friday was a grueling writing day. And then I came home and
did more work
so that I could play on Saturday.
Yes.
Saturday was filming day.
Oh, that's so much fun. Filming
they started in the morning.
Filming always
casting all of the stunt people. Assigning the filmmakers that were going to make the movie. They had already scouted locations, so they knew where in the hotel they were going to film.
Okay.
And we'd already talked to the Macklemore guys. They already had their weapons and everything. So I went, peace out, guys. I'll see you when you're done. And I played the whole rest of the day. Only 2 or 3 hours of sleep, mind you. And then I did Tai Chi. I did a Tai Chi fan class. I did a what the hell is your core class. Where they work on showing you activating your core and what it feels like when you're doing something correctly versus incorrectly. And at one point they had we had swords in our hands. And I was trying to do an uppercut. And the person I was partnered with just had his pinky at the tip of the sword. And just that little bit of pressure was so hard for me to swing up.
Oh, wow.
And you really had to use everything to do it. Yeah. So I walked out of that class a little bit sore. And then went into self-defense after that.
Oh my God.
I was not joking when I said Saturday was my play day, because after that was the Time Traveler's Ball.
Nice.
So I went and I checked in. I had a hotel room for Saturday night, checked in, got dressed up, did not get any pictures.
Of course not. That's
Started the night off with 2 margaritas and some Mexican food.
Well, you had food.
Yeah. That was the only thing I ate that day, by the way.
Oh, wow.
I'd forgotten to eat breakfast that morning, too. Regine, it was so much fun. So much fun, especially, the self-defense class.
Did you do the longsword yoga?
I missed it because it was on Sunday morning and I had a class that day.
Okay.
But anyways, so the self-defense class is called Be Safe Self-Defense, and it's supposed to be women only, but they did have 2 guys in there this time because the instructor knew them and knew that they weren't going to do anything stupid. Okay. And it's one of my favorite classes to take because it's so ridiculous. I love it. It's an instructor that's got to touch you in order to show you the move. So he always prefaces, if he's gonna have you as like the sparring dummy or whatever, he's like, "Can I touch you?"
Yes.
Sure. all right, we're doing the boob grab.
Okay.
He's like, all right. So the drunken guy comes up and he grabs your he goes to grab for your boob. And then he was pointing out how men grab versus females. He had us all partnering off and we all had to ask, can I touch you?
Okay.
Learning how to, pin the wrist and manipulate the joints in order to get them away from you.
Yes.
And one of the moves was, give them the best squeeze of their life because it's the last one they're going to feel before you break the wrist.
Yep.
So I love that class because it's nothing.
The over and clamp.
Oh no! This was the pin the wrist, so their wrist is kind of sticking out.
Yeah.
And then tweak it so their shoulder and their wrist turn.
Oh, okay. Yep.
And they go sideways real quick.
Yes.
And that was just one of them. We learned a bunch of moves, but that is such a fun class. The instructor's hilarious. His wife also helps out with it, and she is the sweetest woman ever. So it's just nothing but laughs and everybody learning some fun moves, and it's a good time. I will go to that class every single year. I actually got to be a training dummy for one because I remembered the move from the year before.
That's awesome.
So I was all proud of myself. I was like, oh, you're doing the ponytail pull. And he's like, you want to come up here? I'm like,
yes.
So while all that is going on, the film guys spent the entire day, and Joe was with them, filming the scenes.
Oh.
Which Sunday they edited so that we could show them all off.
Yes.
Margaret says, last time I was in karate class, I had no boobs to speak of. I still don't.
Oh, I'm not in that. I'm not in that issue.
I had one of those sports bras on that enhances with padding. So we did the boob grab. I'm like, yeah, it's all pads, guys. It's all pads.
No, I'm a little well endowed.
Rebecca, yes, we did one that was snapping the fingers. The chokehold, that was one we did where it was find the thumb and put it in your pocket. And then you get those fingers around it, you yank it down. That thumb is either going the way you want it to go or it's coming off.
Right.
So yes, we did some of those. And again, it was fun.
Yep.
It was a lot of fun. And then we did the Time Traveler's Ball. So I started the evening, 2 margaritas.
Yep.
I had a rum and Coke after that.
I was drinking Saturday night cranberry, orange, and vodka. Vodka.
Okay.
Yes, vodka.
Yes.
Yes, not rum like tonight.
There were some really good costumes. Lots of drunk people.
Yep.
I did not get any pictures.
That's okay. Did anybody?
I keep waiting. I know.
I mean,
this is one of the reasons I hate Instagram stories because I know there were some pictures that were posted on CombatCon's story, but when I went back to look for them because they were on stories, they're gone. I can't find them now.
Right.
So yeah, I have no pictures of the awesome outfit that I had.
So anybody out there, if you have pictures of Katie at the ball, please post them because we would like to see them.
The instructor, Stephen Fick, who did the self-defense class, he was dressed as Captain Obvious.
Oh, okay.
He was out on the dance floor doing the Fiore dance with the different guards. We had a very animated Joker, full costume, who was chasing people around. So when we went on our little adventure to find water, he was chasing us.
Okay.
The dance floor was wild.
Rebecca.
Like just standing on the sidelines, it was ridiculously wild and hilariously entertaining. I stood there for a long time just watching the mayhem in front of me. Like you could tell everyone was blowing off steam because it was crazy.
Yeah.
What is Jane? I rely on your picture. I'm sorry. I forgot I had my phone half the time. And the first 2 days I was stuck in classrooms, so there was nothing interesting to take a picture of. So by the time I got to the ball, I was already half drunk and forgot my phone anyway. So, whoops.
Well, not taking pictures means you're present in the moment.
Yes.
That's why I was like, didn't the conference have a conference photographer?
Yeah, they did. So I'm hoping they will surface at some point.
Yes. I would think well, it's been a week, so yeah, I would think they would have at least some of them out. So
yeah. Yep, there will be. There will
I mean,
be.
the wedding photographer already had two reveals out already.
Well, see, that's the thing. They posted everything on social media under stories. And so like
and
that night I was like,
away.
Oh, these are great pictures. I'll come back later. And then when I come back later, they're not there.
Yeah. People's stories don't work.
Yeah.
Stories are not memories. They go away.
I don't understand the point of stories because unless I actively go look for stories,
I don't see them.
Yeah.
It's not like TikTok.
I don't. Somebody please explain to us the purpose of disappearing things that you post. I don't get it.
Well, I think it's time bound, and it gives a sense of urgency.
But if I'm posting something, I want to make sure people see it.
Right.
And I know the algorithms work against you, so I'm just going to post it to my feed. So when you get around to it, you can see it.
Yes, exactly.
Like it doesn't make sense. Like I get, they want you to stay on and the urgency, but do people like fall for that? Like
I don't know. My sister-in-law was telling me about them, and she's like, "You should do them." I'm like, "Why? They're temporary."
Yeah.
And I don't know if she gets that.
I mean, I know you can.
She's doing it. Yeah, she's doing it for moya moya, which is the a rare disease and stuff like that. So I don't know. It just I've got to ask that question of her. Why stories versus profile? Yes, maybe more people see it.
I think less people would see it because if you're not actively clicking on their little bubbles,
it goes away after so long. Yeah.
And there's no notification, or I turn off most of my notifications.
Yeah, I do too.
Otherwise, there's too many of them.
Yes,
so
exactly.
I don't know.
Yeah. Anyway,
so I will get to the videos in a second.
Yes, I want to see the videos.
So Saturday night, let's see, we started with 2 margaritas. Then we had the rum and Coke.
Yeah.
And then Jenna showed up.
Okay.
She won bronze that day in tournament.
Good.
So yeah, and it ran a little late. So she ended up having to go back up to her room, get changed with her. She had her whole team with her.
Yep.
So she came down probably about almost 2 hours after the party started.
Yep.
And next thing you know, she's handing me her drink. So I'm up to 4 drinks now in the span of what, maybe 2-ish hours.
Okay.
And that's when we went on the scavenger hunt for water.
Yep. Because there has to be pitchers in some places and cups, pitchers and cups.
Yeah. And then we realized that yard-long margaritas made more sense than drinks at the party and would probably ultimately be cheaper.
Probably.
So we ended up in the casino looking for yard-longs.
Okay.
And I know we meant to go back to the party, but I don't think we did. Next thing you know,
I don't think we did.
We're up in Jenna's room because she managed to get a suite.
Yep.
And we're all like just having a great conversation till like 2 or 3 in the morning again.
That's funny.
And at that point, she drank my drink.
Oh, okay.
We had all of them like lined up on the table.
Yeah.
And I was deep in conversation with somebody, and I wish I could remember her name. She was really interesting. And then I turned, I'm like, I haven't had any of my, wait a minute. Did I really drink all that? And Jenna looks over, she goes, that's my drink. I was like, no, that was my drink.
Oops. Oopsie. Let's see the videos.
So we had a good time.
Yes, that's awesome.
And it was well deserved because there was a lot of hard work that went into this.
I was going to say there's always something about staying at the hotel where all this stuff is going on because you can really let loose.
Yes. and what normally happens, I come home. Oh yeah, I'll be back in like an hour, so I'm just going to go home and get changed.
Yeah.
You come home, you sit down and you're like,
yeah, not happening.
Not gonna
happen. Yeah. Exactly.
So, okay. We have 2 to show you.
Yes.
These are our final projects.
Yeah, what to see.
The first one is probably my favorite.
Okay.
And you may recognize one of the actors in this one. Let me see if I can
Okay.
get this queued up here.
Dun, dun, dun. Ah, there you go.
It doesn't mean anything to you. I mean, clearly, we're here, right?
Don't tell me what I think.
Elliot, I never know what you think.
Bullshit, Kara. When have I ever lied to you?
How should I know? You never tell me how you feel, except for this. You're not getting it.
No. No, I'm going to escalate.
Sure, whatever you want, Ellie.
Stop calling me that.
Your seconds have been selected, and the releases are all assigned. Remember the rules. First blood or yield. Go to your positions.
You got this, Ellie. Stay focused, Kara. Come on!
On your marks, 3, 2, 1, fight.
Come on, Kara. I thought you wanted this. What do you want me to do all the work?
Are you gonna talk or are you gonna fight?
You're still dropping your left hand.
Use your head! Come on! You! What? What is that legal?
It's in the rules.
Gary! Sorry.
Come on, little girl. That's it. Come. Come. It'll be fine.
Oh, shit! Not the arm.
Didn't think you had it in you.
Why are we even doing this?
But you said
It's yours. You won.
Just one last thing then. Who gets the dog?
So that was the scene that the first author wrote.
Okay.
And it was pitched as a gladiator meets divorce court, which I thought was brilliant.
Yes.
And one of the interesting things, and this was again the learning process and why we were combining all of these, was to show, where the concept started versus what you got in the end. So the script actually had a lot more moments where there were lawyers involved, and the lawyers were kind of taking bets as the clients are fighting over things. And I don't know if you could quite hear that closing line, but it was, we've got one more thing, who gets the dog? And that's what starts them fighting again. So that was supposed to be a really hilarious moment, but due to, the timing constraints, due to the limitations on actors, things had to be cut and the script had to be adjusted. So it was a really good learning experience, not only to craft the story, but to see the whole process done obviously in a very, very quick,
Mhm.
you know, timeline. So 4 days to create this 5-minute short was
Yes.
really, really, you know, compressed. But we were
Yes.
able to do that. And it was a great experience, you know, from beginning to end. And Sunday was all about reflections. And what did we learn? What did we get versus what we, you know, originally sent them? The armpit.
Yes.
Yeah, like I said, I didn't think you could catch that last line, but
Yeah.
yeah, it was, you know, who gets the dog. So they were originally fighting over the painting that they were pulling away from in the beginning,
Yeah.
and that wasn't worth killing each other over in the end, but the
Yeah.
dog was,
Yes.
because we know the dog's important.
Yes.
And the guy who was carrying the dead body out in the beginning, he's actually one of the Macklemore fight
Okay.
choreographers. He does fight work for Hollywood. He works out of LA. He's really cool guy. Amazingly like speedy with what he can do. I mean, we gave him concepts and he just immediately threw out choreography. And him and Doc, who I believe worked on the other one, I mean, they're brilliant. And you can tell they're so comfortable with their weapons.
Yeah.
You know, here in this short, you could see that they were trying to be as fast as possible, but they weren't as confident with these weapons.
Yes.
These guys, oh my God, like the speed at which they moved was just amazing. I could watch it all day. Even in their classes that they were teaching, it was like, this is awesome.
That sounds it. Especially the clashing of knives when they hit each other. It's like, oh, that's so cool.
All right, so
Cool.
I've got the second video for you. Now, this one was from our second author, so the one that came in a day late, but she came in with her concept, and we worked with her on developing the characters. And again, it was the script versus what you got in the end was a good learning experience because it definitely changed. So let me set this one up. Make sure I click the button that says audio.
Yes.
Stop. I can't.
Dad! We've got to keep going. We've got to find Turtle.
Who's Turtle?
Yeah. Some ancient being Crane said that would stop the apocalypse.
Why do you need my help?
Because you can sense the magic and I can't. I need your help finding the magic door.
We're supposed to be having dinner with your mom right now. And she's gonna be so pissed when we don't show up.
She's gonna be more pissed when the world blows up. Dad, feel the magic energy. The door's gotta be down in these hallways.
There's the door.
May we please speak with the remarkable, timeless, limitless knower of everything?
You must pass through us to find Turtle Co. Only by killing us without killing us will you pass through this door to your next test.
Did he say that we have to kill them without killing them to be able to pass through that door?
That's what I heard.
That doesn't make any sense.
The door is locked!
They're not dying.
I think I understand now. I think I know what to do.
Yeah, please, by all means, share.
Remember CombatCon 5 years ago?
Yeah? Oh, yeah.
Who would have thought Luke's special move from CombatCon would have saved the world?
They're good. Make the next test harder.
Yes, Turtle.
All right, so fun note on that one. The cloaked figure at the end was actually the author of the first one.
Oh, wow. That is a fun note.
They apparently on Saturday, again, I was playing all day Saturday while they were filming. Joe had to step in as the judge because they couldn't find Corey, who is the writer. And when they finally did find her, he'd already done his parts. But the other team needed somebody to be the cloaked figure. So he handed the cloak over and sent her on to the other one. So the second one, the premise was really good.
Yes.
It was more fantasy based with the elements of magic in there. And when the author had come in, she had the characters in mind, but there was no why.
Yeah.
They were just doing things. So I got to spend a lot of time with her on characterization, which again, on that Friday when we got to sit in with Jared, his class really emphasized those points.
Mm-hmm.
So the characters became a little bit more meaningful. Now, she originally wrote them as siblings.
Yeah.
In this, again, due to constraints on the actors available and all that, it became a father-daughter instead.
Yeah.
So
which I kind of liked that.
Yeah, there was some flexibility in all of the characters that were written, so they could be gender fluid as necessary. They could be filled by other characters, but they all had their main points of being there. So you had, the daughter was the fighter, whereas the father was the one who could sense magic. So they had their purposes for being there. So it was fun working on that one and seeing the end result, because once you turn that script over, it's now on, the directors, the choreographers, and the actors to bring that vision to life in the best way that they can.
Yes. Yes.
And it always looks very different. Yeah, fun, nice tension in some of those spots. They really did some good work on that second one with the slow down of the fight in order to create the tense moments.
Yes.
And the joke of the special move from CombatCon, apparently 5 years ago, there was somebody who did that special move in a class. And so they got a huge laugh when they played this, because everybody who's been
my.
there for a while knew this move, knew that person, and they were cracking up. So that was specifically written in to get a good laugh from the people who are long-term CombatCon goers. Cinematography, and again, for a one-day film,
yes,
what you could bring with you on vacation kind of a thing, they did a really amazing
really
job.
good job. Yes, they did. Yeah. And while that was playing, I did get another one.
Yeah. Nice.
Yes.
So it was, again, glad we only had 2, because if we had had more,
it would have been more challenging.
It would have, because we needed enough filmmakers.
Yeah.
We needed enough teams doing the choreo. So we had there's 2 Macklemore guys that were teaching the Macklemore Intensive.
Yeah.
So if we had any more than 2 scenes, then we would not have enough choreographers to help
do it. To help it. Okay.
Exactly. Now the guy
the
guy who was running the filmmaker side of the intensive, he also is a fight choreographer too. So he could have stepped in should there have been a third, but beyond that, we would have been stretched. So we know for next year, one of the things we have to do is make sure the numbers are all even when it comes to that side of production.
Yes.
Because if we don't have enough people to actually film it, then we don't have
the films.
Because they did take all day for a 5-minute film.
Oh yeah. Oh yes. Even filmed news spots take a hell of a long time. Now, it's amazing to get it right the first time.
Yeah, and we've done page to stage before at CombatCon, which is a smaller version of this. Instead of filming it, they're just doing the choreo.
Yeah.
And I've seen them be able to throw together the choreo really quickly.
Yeah.
And not even from a script, from narrative, from a scene that you just pulled out of your book.
Mm-hmm.
And so I know they can do it quickly, but to get it right, to get the angles, to do the reshoots, to get the dialogue in there. And that was one of our big concern, was the stunt actors have been training all weekend to stunt fight, but can they deliver lines?
Yes.
So we had a lot of things to learn. And I think next year it's going to be even better, because now we know a little bit of what to expect and what we need in order to make these films happen. Because those film guys, let me tell you, I was, locked in the classroom Thursday and Friday. They were locked in the classroom all 4 days. Not only were they doing the learning, the pre-shooting, the story blocking, the scouting for locations. I mean, they literally took the whole weekend to create this and spent almost till the deadline on Sunday night to finish editing so that they could present it.
I was going to say, did they have the ideas, the pitches before they had to do all that, or no?
No, that was a learning experience. We had initially thought that authors would come in and we would help them write their scenes, and we had 2 days to turn the scenes in.
Yeah.
Well, sure, the scenes needed to be ready to go in 2 days, but getting character bios, getting shot lists and scene ideas and rough outlines and all that is really helpful to those filmmakers.
Oh, I'm
sure
they're
prepping.
Oh,
so
yes, it is.
When you have an author come in a day late and they're just starting their idea, it really puts a crunch on things.
Yeah, but that's a good experience overall too. It's crisis management, like we were talking before the show.
And it was hilarious, because every one of us, we all know our parts, and the teams that were running the intensives can't say enough good things about everybody who was running the intensives, because even as we were stepping on each other's toes to make sure things were getting done, nobody was getting mad at each other.
Oh no, you never do.
We had a come to Jesus meeting Friday night, where the two head runners of CombatCon were like, all right, everybody get in here. We need to figure out what's going on.
Yep.
And we're all like, well, I did this and I did that. And I thought you were doing this, but I was doing that. And they're like, oh, so nobody knows what they're doing. Okay. You do this, you do this, you do this. We're like, oh, seriously? Peace out. I'm done.
Yep, exactly.
Lord, yes. We were all just, cool, just taking up the slack where we could. And because we were all doing it, we were all stepping on each other's toes. But again, nobody was getting mad.
Right.
We were all just trying to make make it happen in the best way we could.
Yep. And that's part of conferences and comms and everything is to roll with the punches and make sure everybody, well, the ones who running it needs to make sure everybody knows what they need to do when. And it's very hard when that's fluid.
Yeah. And you know, it again, learning experience. Kevin, who was running the film side of it, I know initially he was stressing out about not having stuff, and I was like, we can get it to you when we get it to you, but we don't have this, you know.
Right.
And what we ended up doing was a lot of the filmmakers classes were in the same room as the writers classes, so that as the ideas were being percolated, the writer could be with the filmmaker going, okay, here's what I'm thinking. And a lot of times they did just sit down and re-edit the script together.
Right, because that's helpful for both parties to, you know, rewrite if it's not working, or if the writer thinks it's working but the film person doesn't, and so and needs to the understanding between the two of why it doesn't work, what needs to happen to make it work, is a great learning experience.
Yeah, and the film guys each brought their own unique flair to it, as you could tell in the videos that were filmed. And yes, Regine, there were lots of takes, lots and lots and lots of takes.
Yeah,
I think they had pickup shots Sunday morning too.
Okay.
Because there was a few things that they needed to quickly grab in order to get them put in. But their approach to how they were filming it was very different, but they were very open and you know, walking you through the shots as they see them. And one was like, he was very mobile, like as he was looking for you know, or as he was visualizing the shot, he would either bend over real low to a table or stand up. And he was really like animated in his movements.
Yes.
And the other one, he was constantly like running up and down hallways, getting shots before to see what it looks like, going outside, going to different rooms. I mean, it was really cool to watch them work.
Yes, it is. It usually is. I mean, I've seen the production of a commercial, you know, many commercials, you know, in my former, you know, television life.
They have everything together.
Yeah, exactly. You know, live when you're in television is more stressful than on tape, unless even with deadlines.
Okay.
Because on television, on the network stations, you can't flub up. You can't drop words.
Yeah, I'd imagine.
Oh yes, we've had some live shots during election night. when the reporter didn't know she was on and was ranting a little bit about what the F was going on at the station. Yeah, my husband said when he sat in the back of the newsroom, he said he's never experienced anything so stressful.
You get in trouble if you let that stuff fly.
Well, it aired. We were live. It's not live on tape. Oh yeah. Oh yes. And I know a little bit about getting in trouble.
FCC, you know, fines and all that.
Well, yeah, I edited Revenge of the Nerds, and the owner watched it, and I missed an F-bomb.
I remember you telling me that story.
Yep. And we had the list of dirty words that could be said, and when and what never could be said. That was such a fun after college job.
That sounds like it would be. I can see that.
Yes. Yeah. So I mean, the productions were always tense. Even when we were doing kids news spots, and those were taped. You know, trying to coach a child, a young teenager, to do the news, to do a news story that they're compassionate about, was interesting.
I can imagine.
So it's the same thing, you know. You have coaches helping people write, helping people do all the you know, editing and the visuals and, you know, the footing. Where are you supposed to stand? Did they have tape on the floor?
I don't know, because I didn't go down there during the filming. I wanted to stay out of underfoot.
Yep.
Because I had already been basically up everyone's butt during the first 2 days trying to get everything done.
Yep. No tape balls, huh?
If Joe were hanging around, I'm sure he'd have something to say, because he was down there. He was participating, and I think he participated in both. I know, obviously, he was in the first one we showed you.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And he's credited in the second one, so I know he helped out with some of that. But I mean, he was really, really good to have here during this first year, because again, I don't speak script, and it made it easier to transition from what the author is trying to write into the simpler. I don't want to say simpler, because it's really not simpler, but it's different.
Yes.
The very different form of writing it in the screenplay format. And had I not had Joe there, we would have ended up leaning, I think, more on the filmmakers, which they were already stretched out as much as possible. All right, who's doing what back there?
Oh, Darren's putting it. He went like this in front of the camera. He got himself some more scotch. I'm like looking at him. He's looking at me with a new drink. I'm like, okay. I'm like, I'll be out in 10.
Yeah, you can have her in 10 minutes.
Yes. No, the entire television production is always intriguing.
Yeah, and this was very much eye-opening. Next year, we're going to have them come in with their ideas already sketched out, so that filming isn't so stressed out.
So chaotic. It's always going to be chaotic.
And then we'll be doing more after classes. Like the reflections. What did you turn in versus what actually got filmed?
And what did you learn? What was the biggest thing you learned here?
Yeah. And then we're going to workshop some fight scenes where you actually go, we'll grab the Macklemore guys and we'll go, okay, here's the scene as written.
Yeah.
Let's see what it looks like visually. And we'll stop and go, see, that doesn't work. See, that doesn't work there. This would work better if you did it this way. And then, the writers will get a chance to edit their work with that visual help.
Yeah, the postmortems are very important.
But they can be really fun too, because like I said, I got to sit in on some of those Macklemore classes, and they're intense, but the fluidity with which the teachers moved, because you could tell how comfortable they were, was amazing. And then watching the students as they started, a little bit flimsy and then got more comfortable with the moves, they're doing the same thing. It's really cool to watch it come together. And as a writer, when you visualize it, you can write it even more if you can actually play with the knives too.
Yeah, I'm sure. I am sure.
Okay, I know you're 12 and all, but what's so hard about what? I'm not even saying that.
I'm gonna drink this.
Yeah, we're just gonna.
Actually, I almost wore it. Yeah, that would have been funny. It started to slide. I'm like, oh no, we can't drink it yet.
And we did also learn that we need to make sure that we have an even number of authors to filmmakers.
Yes.
We can always, pull people in as extras when it comes to actors, because most people that show up to a convention like this, more than willing to jump in front of the camera for a cameo.
Yeah.
So as long as they're not in fighting roles, I think we would have no problem pulling in extras, but we definitely need to make sure that we have an even number of stories to filmmakers.
Yes.
But it was fun. It was so much fun. And the Macklemore guys even said, next year, do fantasy. We want more fantasy stories. I'm like, yes.
Okay.
We will put that into our submission information.
That's awesome.
We're all big nerds.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we like weapons, but we're all big nerds.
Yep. I as I said before, I'm on vacation, but I've got to get a little bit more writing done. I didn't hit my goal of getting close to 90% done before this vacation. I'm at like 60% of the novel. I've got half of the the 3,500 word story for the Christmas anthology that I'm doing.
But that's 3,500 words. That's easy.
I know, but it's the prequel to Silent Night.
Mm.
Yes.
Okay.
So that's I'm like, okay, I don't know what I'm gonna write next on the main thing. So today I did that, and that's got to be done by August 14th.
Oh,
So it's
yeah, you better get on that.
that one's got the short story needs to be submitted by then, and then I've got Tainted Mind, which that's the big one that I'm like, okay, I sort of know. I had a dream about the ending.
Yes.
So I know the ending. I love that. And I'm like, oh, can I pull that off? Like, it's a dream, so it was bizarre. But then, I sort of know where I'm going with that. I just have to get there. It's the scene jumping now. I just have to have time to do it, and I'm not going to have that much time with people here. So
that's how it was for me on that Friday night. I
Yep.
was happy to get a little bit done during
Yep.
quiet writing time, but I was still up till 2 or 3 in the morning because if I didn't get my work done, I couldn't play on Saturday.
Right.
And I wanted to play. Damn it, that was my only day to just say screw it.
Yep.
I'm playing today.
This is my time. Yep.
Yes.
Exactly. And I want to read this. This is the Arcane Society's Suzanne Wright book. Oh my God! Look at the stuff. So this is
pretty.
Yeah, I've got there's a second one here too, but I'm like, I've never read Suzanne Wright, so it's like, okay, that's gonna be my thing. But that's the Arcane Society box set. So they send boxes out every other month of special editions like this. And now there's a waiting list. So
I want to know where they get those printed at.
It's overseas. It's definitely overseas, but I don't know where, because she was tracking the ships.
Oh shit.
And this is supposed to be the April book. The February and April books came in at the beginning of July.
Wow.
Yeah. She's never had it but they were having paper shortages.
Right.
So hardcovers are really tough to get the paper, and it's beautiful with the stencils on it, and the gold inlays and things like that. So she gets them done overseas, but I just don't know where. I'm like, I want to know where, because I want to do special editions and buy shit too. Or have me as one of your authors.
Speaking of special editions.
Yes. What? Oh,
this one's coming out real soon.
Yes. That's awesome.
She made me put my picture on the cover.
I know you were saying that, you were whining about that, but I think it looks good. Stop whining about it.
I never put my picture on the cover.
I know, neither do I. For obvious reasons.
I mean, no, it was very nice that she wanted me to be active on the cover there with her. But honestly, I'm not
did all the research.
Qualified person. I did research, but she went to school for this shit.
I know, but you did the research. You did a ton of research to help her with that. So, it's very, very gracious of her.
Yes. And I appreciate the gesture. I do. Even if I'm bitching and complaining about my picture being on the cover. It's a very nice
our next set, when I say we have to put our pictures on the back, are you going to go like this to me?
Damn it, Jane.
Sorry.
Probably. Just because I never do it. I never put my picture on the cover. I think I did it one time, and I was like, yeah, this feels too flashy.
Yeah, no.
I don't know if I want my picture on it. It's too flashy for me.
It's like, yeah, no. I just want the pretty cover.
Nobody cares about the author anyways. They care about the content.
Yes. And that book has great content. Book has great content too for PTSD.
Well, yeah, that book, I really do hope that book is able to help people.
Yeah.
It was a lot of research. It was hard to write in some of those spots. There are some very personal stories that are included in there to go along with the traumas that we talk about.
Oh yeah.
It's a deep, hard-hitting book with purpose. And I hope that helps people.
I hope so too.
Wait, I like to
I don't have a filter normally, but when I'm drinking, there is none. Zip. Yeah, no, they want pretty covers.
Yeah, they like pretty covers.
Good. Anyway,
I need to buy like 12 or so when I get them too, so I can take them because I'm doing what is it, Las Vegas Comic-Con in September. Although I don't know that that's going to sell really well at Comic-Con, but to put in with all of my other books.
Yes.
You never know.
That's cool.
Vampires, werewolves, PTSD.
That could cause PTSD. Cause effect. There you go.
Oh, good Lord. Good Lord. On that note.
Yes, on that note, I need to get out to the fire before I get too sauced.
Yes, go have one for me. Go enjoy the fire pit and all that good stuff.
Yep. And
thank you guys for hanging out.
Next week we're off.
Next week we're off. Yes.
Vacation. Yep. So we'll see you in 2 weeks. Unless Katie does one.
Just pop on for the hell of it.
Exactly.
You never know. It depends on how I'm feeling that day.
It's possible. Yeah. All righty.
All right, guys. We will see you in 2 weeks. Thanks for hanging out with us.